All right, today we got the S25 versus the Xiaomi 15 here. And these are two smaller, flagships, base model flagships, and two very good phones. I'm very curious to see what you guys think of these two devices here. Now, this is also the global version of the Xiaomi 15 that just came out. And let's talk about the design here. So you have two really nice designs. I love the way that the camera's design looks on both. A lot of people don't like those bigger rings on the S25. And it kind of grows on you the longer you have it, but it really comes down to your personal taste or whatever. Now both these phones kind of have a squared off design on the sides here for sure. They're both very comfortable to hold, so you could definitely easily one hand these two phones here for sure. And yeah, that's pretty much it. They're both matte finish, IP68 dust and water resistant. It has those premium materials. So overall, there's not too much going on with the hardware. Let's talk about these screens on these two devices here. So with the S25, we have the dynamic LTPO AMOLED display. It's 120 Hz HDR10 Plus, and this one gets up to 2600 nits peak brightness, and it is 1080p 416 for the PPI with the Gorilla Glass Victus 2. Now, the Xiaomi has a LTPO AMOLED display, 120 Hz as well. It's HDR10 Plus, but it has a 3200 nits peak brightness, and it is a 6.36 inch display. And it does have a slightly higher resolution at 1200 by 2670, and it's 460 for the PPI with Xiaomi's. They have their Xiaomi Shield kind of glass on here. And as far as the display quality, they both look really good. The bezels are pretty thin on both of these phones as well too, so you get a really nice overall screen design. The colors are a little bit more vivid. I have my Xiaomi set to vivid because I just I prefer like the vivid color, but even setting it to vivid is not quite as the colors don't pop as much as the S25. But both displays are really nice looking, guys. I don't have an issue. And taking the phones outdoors, the Xiaomi definitely it is a little bit brighter, but honestly, the S25, you can still see it extremely easy as well in direct sunlight, so that's not really an issue. So I would say as far as displays, spec-wise, the Xiaomi does have a slightly better display as far as max brightness and the resolution being a little bit higher. But besides that, they look pretty similar in real life, guys. So let's talk about the overall specs here. They both have the Snapdragon 8 Elite processor. The base is 128 gigs, 12 gigs of RAM, and the base is 256 gigs, 12 gigs of RAM. And they both are pretty fast. They'll give extremely similar scores, guys, when it comes to Geekbench and stuff like that. So it's nothing to really pay attention to as far as these Geekbench scores. But I will say this, you kind of notice the difference in animations. Like with Xiaomi, it'll you open up the settings, come out, you can see it kind of spins out like that. Something I really like. And both phones have really smooth animations. But I just really like the Xiaomi animations. They do a lot of little cool stuff. I really like the swipe down. I really like how that flows in here. Both phones are actually starting to look a lot like iOS. Also, your general speed, I think that was already open. Try it again. The general speed, yeah, is pretty much the same. So you won't feel the difference. It's just a slight animation difference here. So you guys can see they're pretty much neck and neck in terms of speed. Jetpack. Definitely a little bit quicker on that Xiaomi for sure. So yeah, guys, as far as your speed difference, it's very, very minimal, but these animations are awesome. Just super smooth here. That's how they do the app drawer. I do like the way they do it on One UI. Now, one thing to note with the software is that you do get a 7-year pledge on the S25 versus only the 4-year pledge on the Xiaomi 15. As far as the gaming experience goes, the gaming experience is going to be excellent on both of these phones, guys. Just having the S25 for pretty decently long time here. This phone is phenomenal when it comes to gaming. You could play whatever you want. No heating issues. Really good, consistent FPS for longer sessions. And it's looking like it's the same thing with the Xiaomi. No heating issues as well. Great optimization. Play PUBG, same settings. And you'll just have a great time playing on these phones. It's really nice how the smaller phones now do such a great job with battery life, to where, you don't, if you're a gamer, you don't have to get a plus size phone or the ultra phone anymore, because you're not going to get that crazy hit to the battery life anymore with these smaller devices, which is really cool. Both phones do have the AI features baked into the software, so if you're somebody who likes the AI features, it's here. You got Samsung's, and I'll try to pull them up for you guys. You got Samsung's Galaxy AI versus the Xiaomi AI stuff on here, and there is a few other little AI features on here. If I could find it. Yeah, here it is right here. So you have all of these AI features on here, basically sums it up. And then the Galaxy AI. So I rarely use the AI stuff, but it is here to be able to help you with certain stuff. So definitely that's cool. And they both have the baked in Gemini as well too. So overall, it just kind of comes down to like which software you really like as well. That's why I said this comparison really comes down to like, it plays a big part in like which kind of software you like. Another very underrated thing with the Xiaomi that the S25 doesn't have is the IR blaster. Guys, this is such an awesome thing to have. Once you have it, it's like, man, I wish every phone had this, to be able to control your TVs and projectors and stuff like that. It's just a really cool thing. I wish like more companies would put the IR blaster in your phone, because you basically have a remote for everything. You don't have to use a bunch of different remotes. So I just love the IR blaster. We got the speakers at max volume. We'll start with the S25. The bass is definitely hitting harder on the 15. I really like the sound of the S25, so it's kind of interesting. Yeah, I mean this is actually pretty tough. They both sound really good. I guess it comes down to the kind of sound you want. Now you could always kind of tweak the sound of the speakers here, but they both sound really good. I would go with the 15 just because I like the more kind of bass heavy sound. But the S25 does have like a really clean sound to it, so it just kind of depends. Like I said, you can kind of tweak the speakers anyway, so it's not like a big thing. Now both phones have the ultrasonic fingerprint scanner, so that is here. You can use Face Unlock, and I don't really see a difference with these two devices in terms of the speed of getting into the phone. Yeah, they both feel basically the same. Talk about the cameras here. So the Xiaomi 15 here, it does have a 50 megapixel standard, 50 megapixel telephoto with 2.6 optical zoom, going all the way up to 60 times zoom. And then we also have a 50 megapixel ultra wide. It can shoot in 8K 24 and 30 with a 32 megapixel selfie that shoots in 4K 60. The S25 here has a 50 megapixel standard, 10 megapixel telephoto with 3 times optical, and this one goes up to 30 times zoom. You also have a 12 megapixel ultra wide on here. It can also shoot in 8K 24 and 30 with a 12 megapixel selfie that shoots in 4K 60. The battery life has been very good on both of these phones here, but the Xiaomi's battery life has been phenomenal. It has been really good. It's because they have the new battery tech in here, so it has a much bigger battery at 5,240 milliamps. That is on the global version. The Chinese version is 5,400, so even crazier. And you also have 90-watt charging. Unfortunately, you don't get the charger in the box. It also has 50-watt wireless charging, 10-watt reverse wireless charging. So the overall battery situation is just way better on the Xiaomi 15. I don't even think it's close. The Samsung has the 4,000 milliamp hour battery. It has a comical 25-watt charging. And then you also have 15-watt wireless charging. It is Qi 2 ready as well, so that's pretty cool. And you also do have a 4.5 reverse wireless charging. The screen on time definitely has been a lot better for me on the Xiaomi 15, and that's no knock to the S25 because the battery life is excellent on here too. But once Samsung gets that new, battery tech in their phones, it'll be probably just as good, if not a little bit better. But yeah, the battery situation is just way better on the Xiaomi 15. It's not even close. So that is pretty much it, guys. Which phone would you pick? Be sure to let me know. I'll catch you guys in the next one.